Have you ever found yourself replaying the same memories over and over again, searching for answers that never seem to come? Maybe you have spent weeks, months, or even years wondering why someone who once claimed to care about you suddenly became distant, cold, or disappeared altogether. You tell yourself that if only they would explain what happened, if only they would acknowledge the pain they caused, then you could finally move on. But what if the very act of seeking closure from someone who never valued you is the reason you remain trapped? The uncomfortable truth is that many people spend enormous amounts of emotional energy chasing something they were never going to receive. They continue searching for explanations, apologies, accountability, and validation from someone who has already demonstrated through their actions that they are unwilling or incapable of providing any of those things. The result is not healing, the result is prolonged suffering. Imagine lending money to someone who has no intention of paying you back. Every week you call them, every month you send messages, every year you continue hoping that somehow they will suddenly decide to settle the debt. Then one day you discover that they are completely bankrupt. They have no resources, no intention, and no ability to repay what they owe. At that moment, continuing to chase repayment becomes irrational. Yet emotionally, many of us do exactly this. You are currently chasing a phantom debt from someone who lacks the currency to ever pay you back. The apology you want may never come. The explanation you crave may never arrive. The accountability you deserve may never be acknowledged. Every time you go back seeking answers from an indifferent person, you are effectively trading your dignity for something they do not possess. People can only give what they have. Someone who lacks empathy cannot provide understanding. Someone who lacks accountability cannot provide closure. Someone who never truly valued you cannot suddenly provide the validation you seek. One of the hardest truths to accept is that some people simply do not care enough to explain themselves. We want to believe that there must be a deeper reason behind their silence. We assume there is some hidden answer waiting to be discovered. We convince ourselves that if we ask the right question or approach them in the right way, everything will finally make sense. But often their silence is not a mystery. It is not a puzzle. It is not a secret code waiting to be cracked. It is simply indifference. Stop waiting for an apology that is never coming from someone who never valued you in the first place. Many people postpone their healing because they have attached it to a future event that may never occur. They tell themselves that once they receive the apology, then they will be able to move on. Once they receive the explanation, then they will be able to heal. But by doing this, they hand complete control of their emotional future to another person. Their peace becomes dependent on someone else's willingness to cooperate. This is where many people lose themselves. What begins as a search for understanding slowly transforms into an obsession. They monitor social media accounts, they analyze old conversations, they ask mutual friends for information, they look for hidden meanings in every post, every photograph, every update. They become investigators in a case that should have been closed long ago. Their entire emotional life becomes centered around someone who no longer participates in it. In 2026, technology has made this trap even more dangerous. Social media allows people to maintain emotional attachments long after relationships have ended. Every story update becomes a trigger. Every photograph becomes a clue. Every online activity becomes another opportunity to reopen old wounds. What many people fail to realize is that this behavior acts like a recurring tax on their mental health. Every attempt to gather information costs them emotional energy. Every effort to stay connected delays their recovery. If this topic resonates with you and you want to better understand modern relationship dynamics and the psychological patterns that often keep men trapped in confusion, check out Decoded. What she wants, what she shows, what she will never say. The book explores the gap between what people communicate openly and what their behavior often reveals beneath the surface. You'll find the link in the description. One of the most damaging myths in modern relationships is the belief in the final conversation. People imagine a magical moment where both individuals sit down, tell the complete truth, acknowledge every mistake, and provide perfect closure. It sounds comforting, but real life rarely works that way. Waiting for that conversation means placing your healing process in the hands of someone who has already demonstrated that they may not deserve that level of influence over your life. In fact, continuing to negotiate with someone who devalued you often creates new problems. Every emotional confession gives them more information about your vulnerabilities. Every attempt to reconnect gives them more opportunities to manipulate your feelings. Every effort to gain understanding can leave you feeling even more confused than before. At some point, you must accept that closure is not a collaborative process. It is not something another person grants you. It is something you choose. True closure begins when you stop asking why and start asking what now. The question of why keeps your attention locked in the past. The question of what now directs your energy toward the future. This shift changes everything. Instead of analyzing their behavior, you begin investing in your own growth. Instead of seeking validation from someone else, you begin building self-respect from within. Instead of waiting for permission to heal, you decide that healing starts today. Closure is an executive decision. It is a declaration that the case is closed. It is a conscious recognition that enough evidence has already been presented. Their actions were the explanation. Their behavior was the answer. Their silence communicated everything you needed to know about their character, their priorities, and their future compatibility. You do not need their signature on your healing process. You do not need their consent to move forward. At some point, you must redirect your attention towards something more valuable. Imagine taking all the energy you have spent analyzing someone who left and investing it into your body, your finances, your purpose, your business, your relationships, and your future. Imagine redirecting hundreds of hours of emotional labor toward building a life so meaningful that the people who walked away no longer occupy center stage in your story. This is where real power begins, not in revenge, not in proving someone wrong, not in forcing them to recognize your worth. Real power begins when your sense of value no longer depends on another person's acknowledgement. It begins when you understand that your attention is one of your most valuable assets and you stop spending it on people who have already chosen to leave. If you have ever struggled with maintaining emotional strength in relationships or understanding why some men repeatedly sacrifice their self-respect in pursuit of validation, I also recommend reading She Loves Power, Not You, The Masculine Strategy for Winning Women. It is a powerful guide to developing emotional sovereignty, self-respect, and a healthier understanding of attraction and personal value. You will find the link in the description below. Ultimately, true peace arrives the moment you stop asking a ghost to pay a debt they don't believe they owe. The apology may never come. The explanation may never arrive. The closure you seek may never be delivered by the person who hurt you. But none of that has to determine your future. Their silence was an answer. Their actions were an answer. Their absence was an answer. Now the only question that matters is how you choose to respond. You can continue chasing explanations, sacrificing your peace and dignity in the process, or you can make a different decision today. You can close the chapter. You can reclaim your energy. You can stop negotiating with someone who devalued you and start investing in a future that belongs entirely to you. Because the day you stop asking a ghost for answers is the day your real life begins. Before we end, remember this: your healing does not require permission from the person who hurt you. Your future does not depend on an apology. Your worth does not depend on their recognition. The moment you stop chasing closer from someone who never valued you is the moment you reclaim ownership of your life. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to subscribe to the EvoLeVeX YouTube channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss our latest videos on masculinity, personal growth, psychology, relationships, confidence, purpose, and self-mastery. Follow EvoLeVeX across all our social media platforms for daily insights, powerful mindset shifts, exclusive content, and practical strategies designed to help you evolve into the strongest version of yourself. If you are serious about transforming your life, don't just watch the content. Take action. Visit EvoLeVeX.com and register for free to become part of a growing community of ambitious men committed to growth, discipline, leadership, and excellence. You'll gain access to exclusive resources, courses, articles, tools, and programs designed to help you evolve, elevate, and excel. And if you are ready to deepen your understanding of modern relationships, attraction dynamics, masculine psychology, and emotional intelligence, be sure to check out our premium resources, including Decoded, What She Wants, What She Shows, What She Will Never Say, and She Loves Power Not You, the masculine strategy for winning women. Available now at EvoLeVeX.com. Leave a comment below and tell us what was the moment you finally realized you didn't need someone else's explanation to move forward. If you know someone who is still waiting for an apology that may never come, share this video with them. It could be the message they need to hear today. Thank you for watching. Keep growing, keep building, keep moving forward. And remember our mission at EvoLeVeX: evolve, elevate, excel. We'll see you in the next video.